The praise on my heart, if you don't mind. It says, I need you like the ocean needs the water, or it will run dry. Yes. Need you like the stars up above. Come on. Need the setting of the sky. Need you like tomorrow needs the hour of the day to pass by. Lord, I need you more than ever, so hear my humble cry. I need you like the flowers need the raindrops, so they can live. Need you like the birds need the bees, because that's just the way it is. I need you like we need to learn to love one another and forgive. Lord, I need you. Change my ways, or my painful past would relive. I think y'all know this part. I need the chapter 11, verse 39 through 44. Reading in the Amplified version, so it may read just a little different if you're reading from King James. If you see a neighbor who didn't bring the Bible with them tonight, be kind to them. Just share your Bible with them. The Bible said, faith cometh by hearing, hearing by the word of God. They went on a little bit later and said, how can they hear what I'm preaching? So we're grateful tonight that we will be able to hear and both see. So we should be able to receive a double blessing from the word tonight. Book of John, the gospel written by the beloved disciple. Chapter 11, verse 39 through 44. And it said, Jesus said, take away the stone. Martha, the sister of the dead man, exclaimed, but Lord, by this time he is decaying. Throws off an offensive odor, for he has been dead now for 4 days. And Jesus said to her, did I not tell you and promise you that if you would believe and rely on me, you would see the glory of God. Verse 41, Sir, they took away the stone, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. Yes, I know you always hear me and listen to me, but I have said this on account and of the benefit of the people standing around, so that they may believe that you did send me, that you have made me your messenger. When he had said this, he shouted with a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. Somebody shout, come out. And out walked the man who had been dead, his hands and feet wrapped in burial clothes or linen strips, and with a burial napkin bound around his face. And Jesus said to them, free him of the burial wrappings and let him go. In verse 43, where we're going to take our emphasis for tonight, it says, and when he had said this, he shouted with a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. That's what I want to talk to you for these few fleeting moments tonight. I want to talk to you about coming out. I think we're in a revival that says that Jesus is the deciding factor. And the Bible said that Jesus spoke at the grave and said, come out. So I wish I'd have you to preach with me tonight. If you don't mind, look at your neighbor and do as Jesus did. Shout with a loud voice. And if you happen to know their name, call their name and just tell them to come out. Trying to figure if they got it. Trying to figure if they got it. Well, maybe they didn't get it. Why don't you look at somebody else that came to church tonight to have church? They didn't come to play. They didn't come to look and see what you was wearing. They didn't look to see who's going to be singing the #1 hymn tonight. They didn't care who's singing the sermonic solo. They just want to know one word if they have the ability to come out. So look at somebody else and tell them, come out! I still don't know if they got it yet, Brother Bishop. I wish you could catch somebody across the room like we do at the Citadel. And they're like, hey neighbor, it's time for you to come out. Yeah. Here we find a word being penned by the beloved disciple. One that Jesus loved. I believe if we do the history, we would find that he was probably one of the youngest disciples. And he had the heart of Jesus. And he wrote many things in this Bible that we pull from all the time because he was one that stood close to Jesus. He stood close to him. He was part of his inner circle. You know, every leader needs to have an inner circle. Some folk that they can count on. Some folk that they can almost take for granted. And John was one of the three. You know, whenever Jesus went to do something, he was with all the disciples, but when he went to do something special, he would tell the others, y'all hold right here, and Peter, James, and John, y'all come with me. Because they were part of his inner circle. And here we find Jesus now speaking to the disciples, telling them in the beginning of the story that we're getting ready to go because one of the beloved friends has died. Initially they thought he was sleeping. Because you know that's just the way they talk back then. You know, they sometimes maybe seem a little light, but Jesus said, no, let me just be real clear with you, he's dead. But the good thing about it is that I am the way, truth, and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. And when I get there, he got to get up. How many know that only things are dead need to be buried? Yes, but Jesus says, when I speak a word, since I am the deciding factor, whenever I speak a word, if it is dead, it shall live again. I'm going to hurry along because some of y'all are looking like